Alright, y'all, kind of got a little late start getting the blog posts updated with the recipes for this week. But it's done, and sadly it is 2 Mexican dishes, so if you don't like Mexican food, and you still want to fill your freezer, then I would just find some different recipes that sound like they would freeze good. And you could also look at last year's Fill Your Freezer Fridays as well. You might find something on there you want to use instead. There's not great meat sales this week. Last week was probably my week when I should have bought pork loin and done the barbecue pork tacos. And then how I eat those is I make a cilantro lime slaw, and it is delicious, but I didn't, and it's not on sale this week. Ribs are, and there's buy one get one free steak. Anyway, so it's gonna be chicken this week as well. So far this week we've done chili, and it turned out great, and chili's great in a crock pot. And then last night we had the I forget the title of the recipe. The chicken was creamy sun-dried tomato sauce, whatever that is, and I took that for our youth. But because I do have some picky youth as well, I buy things like pizza rolls when it's Italian, and if it's Mexican, I'll buy them some taquitos, things like that. And obviously this feeds my family. It's not going to feed a whole giant group. But I just put in here the cilantro lime chicken without the cilantro. So one, I don't know how it would freeze with the chicken. In the little baggie that I put the cilantro in, it turns into green mush disgustingness, and it goes straight into the trash. So if you, I don't know how it would freeze with the cilantro thrown into the bag, but I do know without it being with the chicken, it's disgusting. And my daughter, who's been back home, does not like cilantro at all. So I have to adapt my recipes. I don't know how I'm going to serve this tonight. There's so many options because it is a fuel pool. You can do anything you want with it. Tacos, enchiladas, tostadas. You could even do a soup, but summer is still here in Texas. So you can do a lot with the cilantro lime chicken. Just kind of tweak it however you want, and again, it is a fuel pool. Okay, so this week, I was going to show you my little tote. I just washed it because I just got my last meal out of it for this week. When I pull things out of the freezer, they always go into some sort of container or tote. This is, if you watch my old meal prep videos when I would do totes for each recipe, it's these totes that I would use to put everything in. So I just pull the meals from the freezer and put them in the tote, and the tote goes and sits in the fridge. They're organized that way in the fridge for me, so I can just grab what I need. And if there is a hole, and like I said, probably 1 out of every 10 seems to have a hole in it, and so then if it can and it leaks, and it just would leak all over my fridge, and this is just kind of helping prevent a mess. All right, and if you are, let me take one drink real quick. If you are new here, welcome. I've had some new followers recently. Tip number 1, always write on your bags or use a label maker. My kit came with little labels. You can use that, but those aren't perfect because I had 2 fall off last year. So then I had to research what they could possibly be because the label fell off. So do not think you will figure out what it is unless you like to play the mystery game and then throw things in the crock pot and find out what they are afterwards. So this week I'm going to do, like I said, 2 Mexican recipes, and if you're not a Mexican fan, I apologize. I would look at maybe like the pizza casserole or the pizza soup would be a great option. We did lasagna soup last year, which is so good, and I saw somebody making it, and instead of just plopping, rabbit trail, just plopping the ricotta in, they like took the ricotta, put in some Parmesan cheese and maybe some herbs and stuff, and then made little balls and then put the balls in the soup. I thought that might be a good idea, so definitely going to try that this year. So I am going to do chicken fajita soup. And if you don't like Mexican, just swap it with something else. I've got other ideas that you can use. Now the chicken fajita soup is, if you are a THM follower, it is a fuel pool as written. You can go any direction you want with it. You could even add cauliflower or okra to it and let it cook, and then just scoop it out and blend it up and put it back into your soup. Another thing is you could do beans and corn. Like, you can go eat. I love to take low-carb tortillas, cut them up into little strips, and fry them. That is what I do. I love that with the soup. It just takes me back to pre-THM. It's one of my go-to comfort foods from before THM. And if I can replicate comfort food, that to me is pretty spot on. I'm gonna do it. I don't like to live in the land of no, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay, I've got these all mixed up. And then chicken enchilada casserole, another chicken recipe. I don't think I've done 2 chickens in 1 week, but that's what I have available that's on sale this week. Chicken enchilada casserole. I made it this week, or is it last week? This weekend? I don't know. My week is, I can't believe it's already Thursday. Okay, so the chicken enchilada casserole is super simple. If you're gonna follow along with me, all I'm gonna be doing is literally, you're just dumping the ingredients in the bag. It is so simple and easy. I will add the broth the day of, again, because if it does leak, I bought a big thing of salsa whenever I bought the salsa instead of the little jars, so I'm going to go ahead and put the salsa in there. Anyway, about 10 minutes before I was going to serve this, I had pulled out the chicken. Sorry, my phone's vibrating. Shredded up the chicken, put the chicken back in, dumped in about 2-ish cups of shredded cheese. I used what I had. I had Monterey Jack, cheddar, and some quesadilla cheese. And so I just put from each bag and put that in there. And then I took 5 about that big low-carb tortillas. I think it's Mission brand. I just cut them and then cut them about little square-ish shapes, and then stirred it in. And I was really, really worried that my husband or my kids were going to think that the tortillas turned slimy, and they did not. My husband came back for seconds. I think my son came back for seconds. They all loved the recipe. Now, the recipe does call for 1 pan of black beans. You can leave it out. You can sub it. You could even add cauliflower rice to it. I think that would be great. But it's 2 Mexican dishes for the freezer, and they're both chicken. I don't think I've done this yet, but I gotta use what I've got on sale, and it's just chicken. And most of the time we can find, hopefully, chicken somewhere on sale. I think that's it. I think that's all I have for today. I'll show y'all pictures. I'll do a picture of last night's dinner, and the youth that ate it loved it. So if you haven't had the chicken with creamy sun-dried tomato sauce, I think that's the title. What I did to stretch it, because by the time my daughter and my husband had made their bowls, I was worried that we were going to run out of sauce. So I took a can of petite diced tomatoes and added almost the whole can to the sauce, and just let it cook in there and when we took it. And they all loved it. Anyway, I could ramble all day. I hope you're having a great week. My goal, this is my brain. I got ready, went to town to meet some friends for lunch. I get there, I'm like 3 minutes early, which is never happens. And I message, I say, hey, I'm here, and she says it's tomorrow. So tomorrow, after I have lunch, I'll hopefully come back, run to the store, get all the ingredients I need, and then make that live. Because Saturday I've got a 10K, and then we have the Kane Brown concert Saturday night. So I've got to get all this done tomorrow, or I won't have time this weekend. Any thoughts, questions, whatever, feel free to comment, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.